Before we start this episode of the Grapple Asia Podcast, I would like to personally thank our sponsors and our supporters, Softspot Açaí. They do some incredible Açaí products, and also they now have branched out to 4 locations: Tonglao Soi 4, Central Lap Prow, Circle Ratchaprut, and Hemisphere. I highly recommend the pistachio nut batter. It's amazing. It's sugar-free and no preservatives. Our jiu-jitsu brand sponsor is FightAesthetic.Asia. This is the Asia branch of Aesthetic. And if you use code GRAPPLEASIA, you'll get 10% off everything except from the Alpha Gi. And we also supply in Thailand under FightAesthetic.th or Fight Aesthetic Thailand. They've been around since 2012, first established in the UK, and they've just gone from strength to strength, and I highly recommend all their products. And we have just launched bjjlifestyle.com, and it's an online store where we supply a lot of high quality jiu-jitsu brands. And if you use Grapple Asia 10, you'll get 10% off your first order. It's bjjlifestyle.com. Thank you.
Shout out to our sponsor, creontes.com, the memetic lifestyle band and grappling and performance sports. They create stylish jiu-jitsu apparel with a twist of humor, and they've built quite a cult following and community as well. If you use the discount code Grapple Asia, you'll get 10% off all orders, and give them a follow as well on Chief Creonte. And again, the website name is creontes.com.
All right. So when this episode gets released, it's going to be episode 39. My guest today is the owner and head coach of 10th Planet Long Beach, and his name is Chai Sirisute. My pronunciation is probably terrible, but yeah, you just came to Bangkok, so I just thought we met a few months ago, wasn't it?
Correct.
And didn't realize you were Thai and all that kind of stuff. And when I checked the gym desk video that they dropped a month ago from YouTube, I realized like what your family lineage and stuff like that is. So I was quite shocked. But yeah, I haven't actually interviewed anybody from 10th Planet yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good opportunity. There's a 10th Planet Koh Tao with a British guy called Luke White. Nice guy.
But I want to say it's an affiliate under Phil Schwartz, but I could be wrong.
I believe it is. He goes over there once a year. He's meaning to compete in Nogi Worlds over and over again, but every time he tries to go and do the Masters division, he always gets some kind of injury because he is a bit of a bigger guy, and he's the only guy actually teaching at the gym, and it's kind of grown. He used to be like a diving instructor, and he just opened up a small gym because he wanted to keep training.
Why he's on an island.
Yeah. Because Koh Tao's nice, but the beaches aren't very nice, and it is very much like go out to sea and go dive in certain places.
That's generally it. Okay.
I did the Roberto Jimenez camp there last time.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think it would have probably been more fun with the other 10th Planet guys teaching.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
He's killing it, though, I will say.
Yeah. He's consistent, and he's a nice guy as well. A few of his students moved to Bangkok, and they've been training our gym as well.
Okay.
One of my first proper students when I was in Myanmar was a Burmese kid that was a diving instructor, and he started jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet at Koh Tao. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the younger brother, he's in Chiang Mai University, and he's about to compete in the Southeast Asian Games representing Myanmar. Because they finally made like a national team as well. Yeah, so it's awesome.
That's right.
All right. Can you tell me how you first got introduced to BJJ?
Well, I first got introduced to BJJ through Danny Asano and all them. I didn't train. I didn't start training until I was like 19. But I would say I Eric Paulson and Yuri Nakamura had taught me like some straight ankle locks and some heel hooks and stuff. I never really knew how to get to positions, so I probably would never have used them. But I did kind of learn at a young age, maybe like 11 or 12, I'd say. But I didn't get into jiu-jitsu until I was like 19. Yeah. Yeah, the reason being is I grew up doing Muay Thai.
Of course, yeah.
So, generally when you grow up doing something, you have a certain expectation that you think that you could just do Muay Thai on everybody, and then one day I got taken down, and that's kind of what changed my mind. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll start training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. You got your blue belt from Higan Machado, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you're technically still under that family lineage as well with Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah. It took a little bit for me to go train with Eddie because a friend of mine who had gotten his brown belt under Higan dipped to Eddie's, and he got his brown belt under Eddie. He dipped to Eddie and tried to convince me to go, and I was just like, I trained under Higan. I just kind of don't want to go back in the lineage. That's kind of how I was thinking at the time. Then I went to visit, and at the time I was a really big fan of Marcelo Garcia, and he was teaching some X-Guard stuff, and I was just like, oh man, the other gyms, because Hegan had moved to Brentwood, and I was in Carson at the time, so that was like a 2-hour drive with traffic, you know. So I just started looking for other gyms in the area, in the South Bay area, and couldn't really find any gyms that were up to the training that I had been getting through Hegan. And so finally, after probably a year of my friend trying to convince me to go to 10th Planet, I went. And like I said, he was teaching X-Guard, and I just was like, man, that's cool, you know.
Yeah, so like he was kind of keeping up to date with what the modern
Correct.
trends there is, basically.
Yeah, which appealed to me, you know.
Yeah. Is there any other reason why you decided why you end up like gravitating towards Eddie? Was it just the fact that he was like keeping up to date, or was there something else?
So after that day, he followed me downstairs because it was at a gym called Legends at the time, which was like a 2-story gym, and he followed me downstairs and he was like, hey, where do you train? And I was like, oh, I trained with Hegan. I got my blue belt under him, but he moved to Brentwood, so I'm looking for a new gym. And he was like, it'd be good to have you here. And from that day, he never charged me. Yeah. So I just was just like, man, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It's surprising now that being a coach and an owner, just like those little moments really actually leave an impression on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
left quite an impression on me. You know, and the persona he had prior to me going and actually meeting him was nothing like he was in person. He's a very personable guy, you know. But online, it just kind of seems they paint him to be this conspiracy theorist that's just way out of whack. And I will say some of the shit that he's on seems true, you know. Some of the shit is just like okay,
it's a little bit
a little bit much for me. But you know, some of the things I agree with. Yeah. So
I think lockdowns and stuff like that kind of made me starting to realize, okay, he might be onto something.
Yeah, I mean, when you come out with a vaccine that's fast tracked through the FDA in 2 months
with no liability,
as opposed to a 10-year case study, it's kind of like, well,
I
mean, who wasn't questioning that? It was like, oh, give me the shot, fuck it.
Yeah. I just I was in Myanmar at the time, and I can't remember what happened, but. So February 1st, the military took over the country. Basically, they locked up Aung San Suu Kyi, and so it's like lockdowns. Myanmar's like obviously not as developed as Thailand, so like a lot of people were struggling because of the lockdowns. You had 9 p.m. curfew as well, so you couldn't leave the house and stuff like that. So and then when everything seemed to be opening up again, just around that time, I was offered a coaching position at a gym called Python, and it was supposed to be in collaboration with a few Burmese shareholders and a guy called Ong La, and he used to fight for one. He was like the double champ, and in terms of like sports, like the equivalent in Myanmar would be like a Michael Jordan basically. They have a statue of him erected up in the state that he's actually from. Oh wow! So he's a huge deal there.
What's his name?
Ong La Nsang, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What weight is he?
He's a big Burmese guy. Burmese people are on average very small, but he used to fight at 185, so he is quite a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he fight Brandon Vera?
Possibly. I'll have to double check. Oh yeah, they did. Yes, they did. Okay,
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He has like a tattoo right here. Yeah. I've seen that guy.
Yeah. So whenever he goes back to Myanmar, basically he's mobbed. He doesn't get a second basically, and he just asked me, look, I'm going to open up like a commercial gym / MMA Jiu-Jitsu gym and CrossFit gym.
So he doesn't train there.
He was supposed to go back and help out and stuff like that. He was supposed to be the part owner, but obviously February 1st, it kind of halted all construction. And then after that...
It just kind of fell off, huh?
Not only... Well, you can imagine the pressure that you're under, right? You're a representative of the country, and obviously the military took over the government, and they're already really in the system. So if you want to do big business, they're going to be involved in some way, shape, or form, basically. Yeah. And he was sponsored by Food Panda, which just left Thailand actually, but they're the majority market holders in Myanmar, and they had to end the relationship because he got really upset because all these people started like just spamming him with DMs, just saying, "Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you speaking out against the military and all this stuff?" And it's just like
it's like one man against the whole military, though. Yeah.
That number one. Number two, if he actually did or said anything or did any kind of activism, obviously his family still lives up north in Shan State. So it's like if they decided to shut him up, they might not be able to get to him because he lives in Florida. But it's certainly
that's where he's training out of Florida.
Yeah.
What, American Top Team or something?
It's with Henry Hooft. I don't know what they're called now. They keep on changing names. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the current situation. Yeah.
Oh, well, there
So,
it is.
yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. I was coaching that's how I basically cut my teeth coaching when I was still a purple belt there. I was running a CrossFit gym, and I was like the only higher belt there. So I was teaching like maybe 4 or 5 days a week at a different gym, just teaching jiu-jitsu because I wanted to keep training basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem now is there's only one coach who's like 65 plus, and he's from an Axis affiliate in Japan. And Axis is under Hickson, and they're kind of old school in terms of like how they train and stuff like that. So,
It's a shame what's going on with Hickson these days, huh? You see him lately? Yeah.
Parkinson's, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you first initially started with Joe Moreira, and then you went to Hegan. I remember you said how they taught were completely different. Like
Yeah,
with
very much different,
Joe Moreira, he would spam like 1,000 techniques in a class.
Chain movements was like 16 submissions or something. It's like, damn, maybe I'll pick up on one, you know?
Yeah, when the Brazilians used to come to the UK, I started in the UK at 26, and the seminars, it was exactly like that. Yeah.
It's rough.
It is, yeah.
Unless you're videotaping it, then you probably are going to pick up on maybe 2 or 3 things, if that.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you went on to say that Hegan was a lot more structured in how he taught, basically.
Very much so, yeah. We would go there. We would have the same set of warm-ups from closed guard every day. You know, that's why my closed guard is how it is. I mean, when I first started jiu-jitsu, I didn't like being on my back.
Yeah.
And when I got my blue belt, finally, I was just like, you know, maybe I should just focus. Because when I get put on my back, I panic, you know, and it's more of just a defensive position as opposed to an offensive position. So I really took the time to start getting comfortable there. And, you know, when I came to 10th Planet, it was like, man, once I started learning rubber guard, it's like, man, posture control.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better guard for posture control. You know, there's no hip mobility, but posture control, I don't, you know.
Yep.
It's rough.
So a lot more submission based as well when it comes to close guard as well. We've got a Hodger Gracie black belt that teaches at our place called Sebastian, and he got his black belt from Hodger, and his close guard, just once you're in it, you know it's over basically. Yeah.
Yeah, Hodger's a good jiu-jitsu player, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're playing rubber guard, which is quite surprising because you said that you blew out your knee on a snowboarding accident. Was that when was that exactly?
That was before I started training Muay Thai, or I'm sorry, jiu-jitsu. So, you know, I grew up with a father that did Muay Thai. And we would come to Thailand and I would see the kids fight and I'd be like, Dad, I want to fight. And he'd be like, no, you're not ready. Okay, fine. Fast forward to when I'm 18, he would hold a camp in Oregon every year, which he invited all of his fighters and top instructors there. And he finally told me, he was like, I think you're ready, but I'm going to get you a fight in Mexico because they allow knees and elbows at the time. So I was like, all right. And then training for the fight, I fell in love with snowboarding probably the year before, and went up to Big Bear and overshot a jump and just landed flat and just blew out my right knee and tore my ACL, my meniscus, and just blown out. So yeah, that put a stop to that, and I finally got better. You know, then, like I said, around the time that I got better was around the time that I started jiu-jitsu. So I fell in love with jiu-jitsu just as a sport. I'm a fairly competitive person. I think being a competitive person really pushes you in terms of, you know, your progression in jiu-jitsu. So it was just, you know, and I'm very analytical with the way that I think. So it was one of those things. It's not as direct as Muay Thai, but it's funner for me to train.
Yeah.
Than Muay Thai.
I started doing kickboxing initially, and then the jiu-jitsu class would start afterwards. But there is definitely something to say about, like, I find with kickboxing, you get like an instant gratification and a dopamine boost. But with jiu-jitsu, you're gonna get your ass kicked for the first God knows how long. But then it's actually like way more worth it because long term, it's just gonna like so much more rewarding. Yeah.
I mean, once you start learning the ins and outs of it, you know, and start to understand every variable of what's going on, whether it's leverage, balance, you know, weight distribution, all those different things come into play at any moment, you know, and if you're able to recognize and understand, it's gratifying to say the least. You know, I love training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I'm in Thailand trying to train
Yep.
So,
do you find any issues with them? The fact that you blew out your knee and then you're playing rubber guard in like the 10th planet system of jiu-jitsu?
not really. I think my knee, there's certain positions that I can't really play because of it, because I still am dealing with knee problems. I've had 3 surgeries now, and it just keeps, but I'm very careful with what I do. So, just like anything, you kind of adapt. You hurt your right arm, you start getting better with your left arm, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. But I think it also plays into how your game progresses as well. So, injuries do have a silver lining, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So, from when you first started to when you started developing, getting into your later stages of your belts like blue, purple, brown, what was the jiu-jitsu scene in California like?
Oh man, I feel like the best jiu-jitsu players are in California.
Yeah.
It's so dense, At the time I was coming up, I would say it was in the mid 2000s, and Jacare was kind of on the top, and he had just moved to America. There was a guy named Gilberto who owned a jiu-jitsu store called the Pro Shop, I want to say, Jiu-Jitsu Pro Shop, and I would see him over there all the time. The Athos is there, the AOJ, you got the Mendez brothers that were killing it at the time. Cobrinia's right there in LA. I mean, you throw a rock and you're going to hit a jiu-jitsu studio in California, Southern California especially.
Yeah. I found the Mendez brothers, they did a really good job in investing in the kids or the kids program from a very early age.
Look at Cole, man. Yeah. He's fucking killing it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like they're very particular about how they expand their business as well, it seems like. Because even like with they've got Costa Mesa, which is obviously HQ, but then they've just made one at Mission Viejo, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
But like it's relatively close to.
It is. It's fairly close. Mission Viejo's about, depending on traffic, you're probably looking at a 20 to 40 minute drive.
Yeah.
Because you got to hit the 405. 405 is almost like Sukhumvit right here,
Yeah.
I mean, not quite, but it's pretty bad.
Luckily, we've got the BTS and the MRT system here, so it's not too bad anymore. But yeah, it's still like at certain times you're not going to move anywhere.
Yeah, I mean the freeway system seems to work pretty well, but once you're off the freeway onto the streets, it's like, man.
Yeah. I train around Southeast Asia a little bit. Jakarta's the worst. Indonesia is the worst in terms of traffic because they have no train system or anything. And then Manila is just as bad as well.
Really?
Yeah. But there's gyms everywhere in the Philippines. I don't know what it is with I think the immigration laws between the U.S. and the Philippines are really good. So like the Filipinos, you have a whole bunch of them going to the U.S.
Yeah,
all
I
the
grew
time.
up in Carson, so that's like Filipino Central.
Yeah.
That's
an interesting. I had a friend, he runs a gym in BGC, which is kind of like the rich central business area, and they didn't find out until quite recently, but the recent elections, this guy called Bon won the elections, and then he just messaged me and said, my family's back in power. I had no idea this guy was so if you know anything about Filipino politics, it's part of the Marcos family.
Oh yeah, well, I remember him. Who doesn't know about him? Shit, you're a drug dealer. Bam.
Yeah, it's
like a witch hunt out there.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you open up your own place then, and why did you decide to do it?
Okay, so we were, me and a couple of guys from HQ were training under Eddie. Started to really get heavy into the competition scene, and at that time 10th Planet wasn't really competing that much. We were getting hated on in IBJJF tournaments. You weren't a 10th Planet rash guard, it's like you're getting DQ'd for something, or if it comes to a ref's decision, it's just like you don't even have to think of who's going to win that shit, so me and a couple of friends started training on the days that Eddie wasn't teaching. So it was Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday is when we would train. And we started training at one of my buddies, Felix. He had an automotive shop, and upstairs he had an empty room. So I was like, hey, you want to map this up? Because he was a purple belt under Cobrina at the time, and he had won worlds as a blue and as a purple belt. So he was a great training partner. He had come to start training at 10th Planet as well because he wanted to start doing Nogi more. So he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we matted up the upstairs, and we had the guys that were training with us ended up going on to having quite a career. Jeremiah Vance was one of them. Ray De Leon was one of them. Who both of those guys both opened up 10th Planet gyms. Jeremiah's gym is in Santa Barbara. Ray's gym is in New York. His girlfriend Cece, they run that together. Alex Magala also has a gym in Russia somewhere. He was coming quite a bit. There was another guy named Joey Wren who now trains and got his black belt under Henzo affiliate in LA. But yeah, there was a group of us that were just training on those days. And eventually my buddy had to close down his shop for whatever reason. And that's kind of what led me to wanting to open a gym. I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just try it out. So I did it thinking that, you know, I had the Field of Dreams fucking thought going in my head, which is completely wrong. I'm like, if you build it, they will come. No. Hell no, we were training way too hard. You know, we were training like competitors train. So when you would have, you know, just people off the street that wanted to come learn jiu-jitsu, they were like, no, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think I just chased a bunch of people away for the first year. It was, you know, I ended the year, I think I got up to maybe 20 students, and then it tapered back down to probably like 9 paying students other than the coaches that were training. Because we were all training, you know, we were all still competing and trying to, you know, get ready for competition and doing our strength and conditioning and doing all the stuff that we felt we needed, you know. And then a friend of mine who also owns a couple 10th Planet gyms, his name's Casey Halstead. He owns Vegas. His wife actually was the one that helped me file all my paperwork to open my business. I reached out to him and was just like, man, I feel like I'm working for free. You know, what do I got to do, man? And he's like, do you got a beginner program? And he's like, I'll tell you what, start a beginner program. Don't teach it. Have one of your lower belts teach it and see what happens. And as soon as I did that, numbers started growing.
It's crazy how that works. But then at the same time, when you think who spends the most money on jiu-jitsu gear and what's the like largest population of like belt levels, it's always white and blue belts, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a huge difference. We have a fundamentals program as well, and it allows like people that are always at the gym anyway.
And it also segues the people into the more advanced programs if they stick with it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what has happened with me. So yeah, that's how 10th Planet Long Beach came about. That was in 2016. The end of 2016 is when we opened up, and then like I said, the numbers grew up until 2019. We had close to 100 students at that time, and then the BLM riots came and gym got burnt down, and that was another whole that was a whole episode in my life. But you know, I think the silver lining was that I got to open a nicer, bigger gym, and you know, it also gave me some perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you immediately think I'm going to rebuild, or did you have a time where you?
No, I didn't. I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I stood in front with a couple of my students, strapped up, you know, and we were out in front of the building because the actual gym, the whole front was a big window.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to stand out front is because people were throwing rocks through windows. They're just causing havoc. Yeah. I mean, it was, you know, it was crazy to see that because growing up, you know, I grew up in Carson. I grew up around a lot of gang banging situations where cops would come around and sweat everybody. And, you know, growing up, I really didn't particularly like law enforcement, but as I got older and, you know, started a business and started to see that, you know, without law enforcement, it's just, you know, things can get wild. So I started to appreciate, you know, plus I had a couple people that I knew that were students of my father's that were really nice guys, and just, you know, I started thinking of it as a job and, you know, wanting to get to know an individual as opposed to just based off their career path. You know, I didn't really judge cops at that time. But So that happened, and man, it was a lawless day, I would say. We stood out in front of the place, me and like 4 other students of mine, and they had just robbed the barber shop next door, which in the building that I shared was with 5 businesses. So then on the corner, which was right on the corner of Pine and 7th. If you know Long Beach, you probably know Pine, because Pine is probably like the epicenter of where all the clubs and nice restaurants are at, goes down to the Pike, you know. It was right on Pine and 7th, and 7th is also a significant street, because that's one of the streets that goes straight onto the freeway, and it's a one-way street. So you could take 7th from all the way on the start of Long Beach, where Seal Beach is at, by where the university is, and it goes all the way to the other side of Long Beach, right onto the freeway. So there's a lot of traffic on that street, and on the corner. So there's 5 businesses. The corner business was a Men's Warehouse, which is like a suit shop. The business next to it was a barber shop, which was a black barber, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then there was my gym. There was a Labor Ready, which is like a temp agency for, workers that want to do construction. And then there was a yoga studio on the end. And when I had got to the gym, I noticed that the front door of the barbershop was broken open. And so I looked at that, and I looked at my gym, and there was no damage yet. And then I see a car pull up all quick, and the owner of the barbershop jumped out with a couple of his buddies. So we all kind of just congregated in the front of the gyms and the barbershop from probably about 5:30 till about 10. And throughout that time, there was just, I would say, thousands of people coming through and just causing havoc.
Yeah. Just looking for destruction.
Once they broke the window to the Men's Warehouse, it was like it was like ants just piling on. It was crazy. Then someone in our group let off some shots, and everybody ran off, and not even 2 minutes later the crowd doubled. And then not only that, the cops came rolling up and were shooting rubber bullets at everybody. So it was, it was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, so the night ended. It was about 10 o'clock. Everybody had left. They had pulled out, all the rioters had pulled out all the mannequins and whatever was left in the Men's Warehouse, and tried to create a barricade right there on 7th. And there were some people trying to move it, because there were some people out there trying to do good as well. And then I don't know what made me look, but I looked over, because from where Pine is to where the gym was probably about, I would say maybe like 50 to 70 yards. So it wasn't that close, but it was close enough. And I seen some guys walking across the street, but I seen someone filming them. And I told one of my buddies, I was like, "Hey, you see that?" And he goes, "Yeah, let me go check it out." So he walks over there, and they had already walked past to where I could see what they were doing. And he walked over there, and as he got there, he comes running back, and he's like, "The shit's on fire. Where's your fire extinguisher?" So I opened the door, and on the inside of the door, I had like metal gates that open with the padlock. So I started opening the padlock, and I look over, and I see on the caddy corner, there was an Ace Hardware, which is like a hardware store. That guy comes running over with a cop with some fire extinguishers, and they run in the building. So I just kind of was like, "Oh, they got it covered." Not even a minute later, they come running out, and like, "Everybody get back." So me and everybody in the barbershop, the owner of the barbershop, went across the street, and we're just looking at the building. And not even 2 minutes, man, the shit was already flames coming out the top. The fire department didn't get there until probably like 8 minutes later, which the whole building was just engulfed in flames at that point. And I remember telling the barbershop dude, I was like, man, I finally legitimized my life, man. He's like, "Me too." And we looked at each other. That was the last thing we said. That was the last time I ever seen him. I was like, "All right then." And then I just went to my house and laid on my couch and fucking balled up for like a month. I didn't come out of my house. People were coming over, bringing me groceries and shit. And it was a real emotional time for me because, you know, I felt like I had turned my life around, was doing good and helping people, and then, you know, something like that happens. It's like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So then Rose Gracie came the next day, and she started, she put up a video which got a lot of traction. Then another girl from 10th Planet named Donna Gonzalez, who's kind of like the matriarch of 10th Planet. She's just one of the organizers of everything. She organized a GoFundMe, and we raised a good amount of money, which I used that to open up the gym. I basically built the gym because the building that I'm in now was basically just a big room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we subdivided it, put some showers in there,
Mm-hmm.
built out a fight shop, everything that I wanted in a gym.
Yeah.
I was able to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we're at now with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, since the rebuilding process, how long have you been operating now for?
We're going on 2 years
Yeah.
at the current location. I also opened another gym probably about an hour away in a city called Moreno Valley, which is doing really well. Because I went into that one knowing the mistakes that I made in the Long Beach gym. And I also have a partner, which, man, I wish I had a partner in Long Beach because, you know, it
makes a difference.
It alleviates a lot of the stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not all on my shoulders when someone calls in sick, or, you know, I'm not scrambling to find an instructor. But, yeah, Moreno Valley is doing really well. We got a bunch of guys that are really gun-ho about competing. Long Beach, too. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better group of people that I have training with me. But, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a student of yours would come to Thailand quite a lot, just train at Arete quite a lot. Joseph as well. When did he start training with you?
I met him back in the day through a buddy of mine named Genesis, because he taught a 6 a.m. class in 10th Planet Riverside. And I would go out to Riverside on occasion for whatever reason. This was prior to... I was still training at HQ with Eddie. I think I was brown belt at the time. And I met Joey the first time there. And he was one of those guys that is trying to go 100 every time he rolls, which I didn't mind, you know.
Yeah.
Some people are very turned off by that, but I don't mind because I feel like it emulates more of a realistic situation, you know. So things like that I don't really shy away from. But yeah, years later, my buddy Genesis was teaching a morning class, and I would see him at the morning class. And then probably another 2 years after that, I opened up Moreno Valley, which was close to where he lived.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe he lived in Moreno Valley. And he just popped up one day and was like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "I train at Peerless too. Is it all good if I train with you guys?" I'm like, "Yeah." He brought his little cousin, Adrian, who's doing really well these days. And yeah, he was he trained with us since we opened Moreno Valley, and we just had our year anniversary probably 2 months ago. So, but you know, another guy messaged me and he's like, "Did you hear the bad news?" And I'm like, "What bad news?" He goes, "Joey died." I'm like, "Oh shit, no way." And I had spoken to him about, you know, coming to Thailand and him having a Thai wife and him having a baby with the girl and bringing them out to America. And then, you know, obviously they had problems. He sent her back, and I didn't know he was frequently coming to Thailand as much as he did.
Yeah.
But when I heard that he died, you know, I heard that he died in Thailand. I'm like, oh man. So that was, you know, no, that sucked because he was a good training partner and a good guy to have in the gym, I'd say. But you know, life, man.
Yeah.
You never can tell what's gonna happen.
There's another guy from John Jack's gym called Josh that was traveling as well at the time. Just once you come to Thailand, you get a flavor for it and you really enjoy it. You know, it has something for everyone. You get some good training here as well nowadays.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I was in Chiang Mai Chiang Mai for New Year's just went up there with a few friends and was promoting one of my students to purple belt because he's based up there. And I remember, I think it was 31st of December. Josh calls a little bit, like video calls me really frantic and just said, don't effing die. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then one of my friends who trained out of Gio's gym, Johnny, he's actually a teacher here now as well. Used to be like a pro B-boy.
You talking about
Johnny?
Oceanside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he used to be from there. And he was a pro B-boy as well. And he just really enjoyed Thailand. He came to my gym as well. And then he just messaged me out of the blue a few days later just saying, this happened. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, that explains why that guy was so frantic, basically. Yeah. Yeah, when he came, he trained hard, party hard, go to the sauna, talk, stuff like that. But he was a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people that train jiu-jitsu, I'd say, are pretty good people.
Yeah, I'd say
generally
so.
speaking.
Generally speaking.
There are some assholes, but generally speaking, I feel like the jiu-jitsu community, really creates an environment for those types of people that want to be better and want to do better, and I think that's kind of where we're all at.
Yeah.
With it, and there's not a lot of people walking around this earth that are like that.
Yeah.
Some people are stagnant in their lives and just are happy with mediocrity.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Any age, any size. I think if you buy into the culture, you can get something out of it for sure, especially in terms of like enhancing your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So here's a question. What's one mistake like many coaches make when running academy, would you say?
I mean, I've seen some very successful coaches. My dad's good friends with Jean-Jacques, Higan, Danny Asano. I've had a lot of very reputable instructors in my life, but mistakes that I've seen people make, I would say, and that's just my biasm speaking, I'd say maybe not welcoming outsiders too much. Like sometimes when you go into a gym, unless you're the person that likes to initiate conversations, a lot of people are generally standoffish. And, that generally trickles down from the owners and the coaches of their, but, I'd say sometimes I would say we're guilty of the same thing in Long Beach and in Moreno Valley. Sometimes a new guy comes in, you're just kind of like, what's this guy's whole get up?
Yeah.
But, I think it depends generally on each individual case. Some guys like to demonstrate really fucking fast and really hard. Some guys show not enough technique and too much live action. Some guys do the opposite of too much technique and not enough live action. So, for me, I try to always instill what I call jiu-jitsu IQ, which is just the overall understanding of jiu-jitsu and the ability to recognize and react properly to any situation. I also emphasize muscle memory, which you're not going to get unless you drill. So those are the two things that I'm really about, and I really try to hone into with my students, is understanding the game, working on your jiu-jitsu IQ, and as well as putting the time into drill, but going live is also something you need to do too, because you're gonna build these false expectations if you don't, which I think is one of the worst things that to do. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been around, and like I said, when I was training under the Joe Moreira black belt, just overload of information. Yeah. That's definitely not helping nobody.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. So let's say, for example, because you've been coaching for a few years now, and obviously you operate your own business, what would you say would be like an ideal structure for a class? Let's say we start with this, we go into this, we do this for a few minutes, and then we go into this.
So generally what I do, I do the same thing every time. I'll get to class, we'll do our little warm-ups. Then we'll jump right into whatever technique we're doing. And I usually do a progression. So I'll start with, let's say we're working spiral guard.
Yeah.
I'll start by showing them reverse De La Riva and how you get in a reverse De La Riva and how you kind of hold it and what you could do from there. Then we'll start to do the movement where you start to go inverted, and in that progression I'll go for about an hour. Until we're, maybe we're back taking or whatever the case may be. Maybe we're working a reverse triangle or whatever submission we're working. And then once we work our submission from that particular position, we'll generally go live from there.
Yeah.
So then I'll have a lot of live. And then after the live drilling, generally we start to roll at the end of class. So that's kind of how I structure my class.
Yeah.
And I find it works.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of the guys that I teach progress fairly well, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Seems to be like different styles of coaching nowadays, and obviously because there's so much more information out there with BJJ Fanatics and Jiu-Jitsu X and whatever channels you want, online stores that you want to call it. There's definitely different types of teaching and coaching now. Gianni Grippo came through for a 1FC match, and he was obviously getting ready for a match, so I don't really want to bother him that much. But his coach now, Kivan, came in and we did a podcast together. And I just said, would you like to teach a class? Because he really bought into the whole eco thing, basically. Yeah.
There's a lot of people on that shit right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
to tell you the truth, it seems like they've been doing that for a long time. You go live, that's eco. You know, but giving a little bit of information prior to that, I think
it goes a long way.
Makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Not just throwing someone in the beginning of class like, okay, put them in an armbar position, go. It's like, when you're dealing with beginners and people that don't know quite as much technique as they probably should for doing things like that, it's kind of, I don't think it's as there's much validity in it, but some people. I have a coach that teaches my morning class in Moreno Valley. Bought into the shit. Goes to all the seminars, and the way I have my coaches teach is however they want to teach. Yeah, like you teach how you're going to teach, and you teach what you're good at. That's fine. I'm not going to structure and have a lesson plan for everybody to follow. It's like, whatever class you go to, you're probably going to get a different look. Yeah. So I always encourage people to cross-train, go to different open mats, and I was never the type that's like, fucking grillage and fucking, like the old Brazilian style. That's how it was when I first started training.
That's what it was like in the UK as well when I first started.
Yeah. But now it's, I feel like, especially in America, especially Nogi, people are starting to adapt it as American Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. It's what basically everybody's calling the shit, Yeah. Or Nogi grappling, so.
Interesting. Yeah, just because we've had a few seminars recently. The first one was Pret Mikkelsen. He's from Estonia, obviously, and he came through. There's a guy up in Chiang Mai that wanted to bring him up, and he said, would you like to do a seminar at our place? And he was like, I said, yeah, no problem. And just turns out he went full echo as well. And I have another friend of mine who's based in Taiwan. There's two major cities. There's Taipei, obviously. And then when you take the bullet train down south, you go to somewhere called Kaohsiung. A Scottish guy, used to be like a basketball athlete. But yeah, he went that way as well. And I was just trying to figure out, why did you decide to go that way? And I think
Did you ask him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, they both kind of came with similar answers. But it was funny because when they said... it was funny. They said, yeah, when you're listening to Greg, he's thoroughly unlikable. So he sounds very unlikable. So you don't really want to get any information because you can be the best coach in the world. If you don't like them, you're not going to listen to a word they say. And he just said he found it was way more engaging with the kids and the results were quite apparent in competition. So I think from a competitor's perspective, I think if you're doing that more, I think it does work, but at the same time, these are coaches that have had maybe 15 to 20 years of coaching experience as well.
Makes a huge difference.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're like some beginner coach and you're trying to implement this, I think you can go into quite a lot of pitfalls as well. Yeah. But even with me, when Kivan came along and taught a class, it was probably one of the more productive classes, but I could kind of see how beginners might not understand how to do it. Yeah. So I think there needs to be a balance of the two, I think. But yeah. But it was an interesting conversation as well. He should be back in December. We've got a guy called Kieran Kichuk, who's from Canada, he was training with B team for a while. He's going to be coming in because apparently Canada's got a national team as well, so they're going to be here for some of the competitions as well.
Or was it the Asian Games or something?
Well,
That was bringing everybody out here?
it's under the JJAU, which is like the UAE basically, so it's oil money, and I think everyone has kind of like a national team now. The person that owned the national team or had the rights to the national team was, again, Axis. They're under Hickson, and he never really did anything with it. And then quite recently, a few guys from Carpi have been coming to the Asian Games. But when it's international, the Thai team will go to New York sometimes and compete. So apparently there's quite a lot of European teams. But I think regionally, it's usually like Southeast Asia. And then if they do really well, they'll go to like the UAE or they'll go to the US, whatever, basically. Yeah. So that the Canadian guy will be coming here. So he just wanted to like kind of do a seminar just to like add a little bit of money into his pocket, basically, because he's going to get his flight and everything paid for. So yeah.
That helps. We'll say.
But if anybody wants to make money doing seminars, the only place that you should go in Thailand is Phuket. The only place you're going to make money.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Like
we're like Tiger Muay Thai.
Tiger Muay Thai. PJ just had Paolo Meow there. We had Paolo at our place as well recently as well. But it's a holiday destination, so it's very transient. So it's like it's high season, low season, who comes in. And like if you actually see the difference in pricing between like Bangkok, Chiang Mai for what the monthly memberships are and what Phuket is, night and day. It's way more expensive. It's
in Phuket,
I think it's like 11K a month for some memberships because they're tourists and they're all like foreigners coming into train. Yeah. But in terms of like 9 to 5 Thai crowds, the monthly can range anywhere between, let's say, 3.5 to 5, I would say, depending on where you're based, obviously.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all,
it's about the same that we're getting out in America.
Yeah. But Phuket's just way different. And, but yeah, they probably made quite a lot of mistake over the years. And after COVID and stuff like that, like the guys that used to coach a Tiger, for example, they went up and made Bangtown right next to the airport. Because the big, dense population of gyms are all based down in Rawai area. So it's like an hour drive from the airport. And they definitely made the right move, just sticking close to the airport. But a good thing is when these people are coming through and if you follow some of the gyms, you'll see that they're going to do like a 3-day or 5-day leg lock camp. Like PJ did that with the Polish guys. I know the owner, Ben Royal, so he invited me down. I met the Polish guys. I thought, Shazinski and Kamil were really cool guys. I said, are you guys going to transit through Bangkok? Oh, would you like to come through and do a seminar? Obviously, we can't really give you the same amount of money, but, it'll be a little bit of pocket change. You get to see Bangkok a little bit, and it works out quite well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But, if you want sun, sea, and beaches and stuff like that and have like good training, Phuket's a good place to go. But if you want to chill a little bit, like Chiang Mai is the place to go. So speaking of competition, actually, how do you see the competition competitive scene change, would you say, in terms of, let's say, obviously Nogi's a lot more popular now as well. Do you see any differences in what the competition structures were like back in the day to now? Let's say we've got different organizations now as well.
Yeah, I think Eddie kind of kicked it off with the submission only.
I feel like, that was the spark
ADCC
for sure.
is kind of the top upper echelons of Nogi grappling, and they are heavy into wrestling. So I feel like, especially in America, everybody's heavy into wrestling right now, which I am not. I don't wrestle at all. I'll jump into something or pull guard, and I'm not really trying to wrestle. But that seems where the trends are going in America. As in terms of competition, I mean, we got, IBJJF is out there. NABJJF which is SJIF. FF or
ASJJF, that's Edison Kagohara,
yeah. And then we got Jiu-Jitsu World League, which I believe Jean-Jacques runs that. Naga, which has been around for decades.
Grappling Industries just started coming to Asia as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Grappling Industries is out there too. Grappling X. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the tournaments kind of structured their system based off of the IBJJF model. Then you got Naga, which is a little bit more like ADCC style. It doesn't have the 3-minute takedown.
The no point rule.
Right.
Yeah.
But, then there's the submission only tournaments too, which, for me, I'll do whatever type of tournament. I just feel like if I could adapt to whatever tournament I'm doing, that's gonna make me the best grappler in terms of, what I hope to accomplish in my life. But you know, I'm partial to submission only because that's kind of how I train. You know, I don't really train for points. Although I do still keep the moniker that Hegan taught me, and that was takedown, position, submission. So I'm always fighting for position, but I'm always headed towards the submission.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not really one to just slap on fucking submissions from everywhere. I'm really fighting for a position first.
Yeah. I think that's important. I remember listening to Danaher and Joe Rogan, and what he was talking about with the 3 biggest flaws in jiu-jitsu, and obviously one of them was leg locks, but now everyone's doing leg locks now. We've even got a leg lock. A friend of mine who's a really good leg locker from the UK, he built a 8-week curriculum for me, so we just do that week on week, basically.
Yeah, I've noticed on your videos that you're teaching a lot of leg lock stuff.
It's just twice a week, and a lot of people are kind of, when they don't know what it is, they kind of panic as well. And we used to be like 90% gi, and I came back from Myanmar. Most people couldn't afford gis, so I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'll just do nogi, and just I kind of gravitated in that direction as well. Yeah. I enjoy it. I
think nogi is a lot more entertaining to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. As a spectator sport, it'd have to be nogi, I would think. Yeah. And yeah, just I was thinking in my mind, okay, if I had a choice between learning how to slow someone down with the lapel or learning how to break someone's leg, I'm probably going to go in the direction of breaking someone's leg.
At least when it comes to self-defense.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Especially in Thailand, there ain't no jackets or sweaters to grab onto.
Yeah, and you actually see it, that the Thai national team, they've been around for about maybe just over a decade or just under a decade, and you say they have to play sport jiu-jitsu, so you see that they have to kind of learn certain things to eke out points in certain situations, because the other teams are going to do the exact same thing. So when they go internationally, they're athletes, they get paid to compete, so they have to win, and if they don't get the money, basically. So for example, like Cambodia's actually got a surprisingly good competitive team, actually. Jessa Khan's, she's got Cambodian citizenship, so she's come and competed. The Filipino teams have a few really strong guys there as well.
You're talking about a girl from AOJ?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought, really? I thought
Cambodian national.
Korean.
Yeah.
Really?
You think so? Really?
I thought she was.
Koreans usually have like lighter skin and the big
but you never know.
No?
I mean, I got Korean homies that look like they're Thai and they're Korean. You know, like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she's come to the Cambodians. I don't know about Siem Reap because that's supposed to be like the capital. Phnom Penh's kind of like up in the north, and that's where all the gyms are, basically. The one there is run by a guy called Jasper, and he runs the Cambodian national team. And because of the connection with Jessa, a few of the younger athletes that get funding from the government to go and train over at AOJ and learn how to train and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Same with the Thai team.
That makes sense of why they're doing pretty good.
And
I trained at AOJ a couple of times, and they have a very good way of teaching.
Yeah.
What's a crazy story is my cousin owns a Thai restaurant that's connected to AOJ. So, like, if you go to AOJ, there's a Thai restaurant right next to it called Madi.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my cousin's restaurant. So, like, I used to pop over there and be like, oh, there's a jiu-jitsu. Like, oh, shit. That's right when they first built AOJ. And I was like, oh, man, interested to go in. So I popped in there. It was before they had the $100 mat fee. It's like now you got
$100 now?
$100.
Yeah, I heard from there's a couple of people here that trained at AOJ full time. They told me the last time they went, it was like, I think the monthly was like $500 or $600. I was like, what the fuck?
That's crazy. I mean, if you see where it's at, the people can afford it there in Costa Mesa and Huntington Beach. But you know, for most of the population, that's
I get it's dependent on just what the market is, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like here, for example, you'll have like expat friendly gyms, and then you'll have like Thai friendly gyms, and a lot like I don't know if you know much about the what's popular in Thailand, but like taekwondo for some reason is massive in Thailand.
Really?
Yeah, taekwondo and judo's massive. So these kids gyms that have like taekwondo just hire like a purple belt to come in and teach jiu-jitsu some of the open spaces during classes and stuff like that. And the Thai national team, they're under RTAF, which stands for the Royal Thai Air Force. And my coach Andy, he used to teach them jiu-jitsu, and then now they've kind of run with it and kind of like just doing the jiu-jitsu program for kids there. And because it's in the school systems now, and because if you medal
taekwondo and judo
jiu-jitsu, sorry. So jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu, it's spelled kind of weird. There's 3 things you can do. There's 3 sports within that jiu-jitsu competition. There's Newaza, which is obviously jiu-jitsu. Nogi is becoming a little bit more popular now, but they have restrictions on what you have to wear and stuff.
You could do that in the Thai schools?
Yeah, basically, you can compete and represent your team, your university, and you get funding.
Oh, it's through the universities.
Yeah, and then I think you get scholarships, so you want to start competing as a kid and get better. And if you get really good, for example, you can go to this high school or you can go to like this university through a sports scholarship.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's like, for example,
kind of doing it like the UAE.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it incentivizes people to train jiu-jitsu, so it's like it's exploding.
That's what my cousin says. My cousin owns a gym out here.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, man, jiu-jitsu is just blowing up over here.
Well, I mean, they're going to open up an Evolve in M-Sphere.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Well, I'm surprised it hasn't been involved before.
Well,
because I got my black belt with a guy named Rick Marshall, who Chatri brought out to teach at Evolve. I want to say he taught there for 2 years, but he was telling me some horror stories about it. He got paid well, but he was telling me some horror stories about certain things that he was dealing with.
It was like, it's like a conveyor belt, and you got to do like 8 hours in a row of class after class after class after class, basically.
He said he would drive his moped home and then immediately have to drive back. And like, if he wouldn't, let's say he was called off, he said that people would show up at his house. Oh, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they it's almost like a fitness gym, jiu-jitsu gym that's like systematized like fitness classes, you know, like, oh, you're going to come and do a 45-minute workout, get out, basically. Yeah. And basically the instructors are kind of taught to just like go, you know, class, basically. And I've heard from a few athletes about it as well. But obviously, because one is always at Lumpini doing Friday night fights and a Saturday pay-per-view or whatever, I mean, it kind of makes sense that they're going to like open up an Evolve here, and the cost for production.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't had one. Tell you the truth. I
think Chatri's actually realizing now, because like Singapore is super expensive for everything, and obviously they were trying to do regional competitions all around the world, but then each country, like Indonesia, Myanmar, Manila, they've all got their own red tape, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Thailand just makes sense for them now, just because they're like doing it, and I'm guessing the cost is way lower as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Although things seem to be on the up and up here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the prime minister just got taken out. I don't know what's going on with her.
Yeah, it's just got to be careful about like speaking about certain families and stuff like that. But it's interesting. So like in regards to competitions as well, CGI2 just went down. What was your opinion on it?
I mean, I love what Craig Jones is doing.
Yeah.
But damn, I hope they don't have the quintet format again. Especially the way that it was, where it's just, you know, I think people were more focusing on not getting submitted.
Yeah, exactly.
So they would shell up. I mean, you could have the best guy going up against someone that's shelling up, and
if he's 100% defensive.
Mika Gaval didn't submit one person.
They just didn't want to get tapped out.
He has a very high submission rate. It's like,
exactly.
You know, I think the girls kind of showed up a little bit. And, you know, the ending threw me for a loop. But it was funny how they had that rule, which was, let's just score the last match. And, of course, they had Nicky Rod in the last match. Like,
Didn't they just make that, like, rule up on the spot, and everything, like, that was written down on paper was just, like, completely thrown out, just so, like...
It might have been. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it, the way that it all came about.
Yeah.
But, you know... New Wave got their million. In terms of entertainment, though, I would say CJI 1 was leaps and bounds.
I think so.
Better than 2, you know. And I think because of the quintet style, people were more focused on, like, just don't let me get submitted and let me just, you know. Yeah. We'll just knock both of us out.
It's interesting in that regard, though, because like I remember back when Sakuraba was doing the quintet style in Japan, it was really exciting and dynamic, and everyone was going for the kill. So I guess it just depends on.
I don't know. I think the $1 million had a lot to do with it, you know. And you know, Sakuraba, it's, you know, you go to Japan, it's like the warrior spirit, you know. They want you to. I mean, you got the bonsais and the fucking, or the kamikazes and what's that shit called when they kill
Oh,
themselves?
seppuku. Yeah, that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go to a country like that, obviously,
Yeah.
I think you're going for the gusto, you know. And I think that at that time the rule set was not as prevalent as it is now.
Yeah.
So I think people have gotten smart to planning.
Rules dictate behavior, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I saw Andy Varela and what he said after the event as well, and he's just like, everyone's complaining, but you know, like, you see how much money you're making now, you know. And then PJ Barch made a really good point about it as well. I thought they probably made the best point. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of animosity between B Team New Wave still.
Oh, of course.
So it's like, okay, it's whatever.
But, I heard Gordon Ryan just opened up a new gym.
Kingsway it's called now.
Kingsway, yeah.
Because
so he's not part of New Wave no more then, huh?
They've all just moved there because they were all the pro team was training out of that Roca private gym, and then finally the new gym got opened up, and they're all just moved there basically. Okay. Yeah. Who stood out to you the most, would you say, in the competition this time around for CGI 2?
I mean, there was a couple standouts, I'd say. I think what's that little Mexican dude?
Oh yeah, Olivares. Yeah, he's a little pit bull.
He fucking put it on Pena, didn't he?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy to see.
Yeah, he weaponized pacing.
I mean, you know, Pena was tired from his match before, and then you got this little fireball guy just coming in, exploding on him, which that was cool to see. But yeah, I mean, there was a couple standouts. Like I said, the girls, I think, kind of took it away.
I think so.
Elena, I felt like as soon as I seen she was in it, she was gonna win.
Yeah. The other girl, Adele's pretty good. I saw her at trials because the Australians, they have to come to Asia to compete, and she did a really good job as well. Yeah. Because out of all the trials, Shazinski made a really interesting point. He said this 77 division for trials is probably more competitive than the US. That's what the argument he made. And then
I mean, that's a pretty exciting division.
It is, yeah.
You guys got good technique, very good athletes.
Good sized. Because that guy won trials. What was his name again? Taylor Pierman. I saw him when he was a blue belt when I was training in the UK, and I went down to London to go train at the Carlson Gracie there, and he was still with them, like footlocking everyone. Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, CGI, man. I still think the Cade versus the
was like
Tackett was probably the best match out of the whole CGI.
I think that's like the future style of jiu-jitsu as well. In UFC BJJ, he went up against that Brazilian guy from Las Vegas, Checkmate Las Vegas. I can't remember his name now. He's like a flying submission finisher, and the match ended within one round, but it was a really dynamic, exciting match. So yeah.
Yeah, UFC's getting into it too.
Yeah, they want the money.
They're all getting into it now.
Yeah. I think it's finally becoming mainstream, I think. Yeah. And it's going to trickle all over to Asia, I think, as well.
Yeah, it seems to be trickling already. I mean, my cousin, like I said, he said jiu-jitsu's blowing up here.
Yeah.
So.
Is it a jiu-jitsu gym he runs?
He runs a Muay Thai gym.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think quite a lot of the martial arts gyms, they kind of trying to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Diversify with different arts and stuff like that. I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, then we're gonna the MMA in Thailand is gonna start kicking up a notch.
It's never worked in Bangkok, surprisingly. MMA gyms have never worked.
I think that's gonna change.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's to do with environment as well, though. Phuket, you're gonna go fight, beat the crap out of yourself.
Yeah. And my cousin was definitely telling me that Phuket is the world most of the MMA gyms are at.
You do have Fairtex and Pattaya, but Pattaya is Pattaya as well. So. Things you hate most about promotion and coaching.
Oh man, promotion. So I generally will promote someone when they're very deserving, and sometimes when a person has put in the time and the work, even though there might be someone that's better than them that hasn't put in the time and the work, they get a little salty over someone else getting their belt. That's one thing I don't like. The expectations of promoting someone is also another thing I don't like. But, you know, it is what it is. You put in time and work. There's a there's a guy that demotes people that I know, that if you go into his gym as a purple belt, he'll demote you to a white belt.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy to me, because it's like, man, you're kind of shitting on their instructor. You're shitting on all the work that they did. It's like, I would never do that.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
that's really
I might
strange.
hold off on promoting you to the next belt,
But you
because
can't
I don't
demote
think
them.
you're at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I had last promotions were back at January, and when that person didn't get promoted, I got told to go fuck myself.
Yeah, I mean, no one has told me that, but I have definitely seen some salty looks.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, why did he? I'm tapping him out. It's like, this guy's been training 2 years consistently, and competes and does all the other shit that he needs to do. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, with the gym, it's not a business. It's more like learning how to like be good with people, I feel like.
Yeah. There was definitely that aspect.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, question number 2. Best athletes you've met or trained with?
Probably, I would say PJ Barch is probably one of them. Very athletic. I competed against him on the EBI trials, the EBI 5 trials, and he was definitely one of my hardest matches I've ever had. So yeah, I'd have to say PJ is probably one of the best athletes I've trained with.
So, if you had to give it CGI to, who do you think won, New Wave or B Team?
That's a toss-up, I'd say, but I was leaning a little bit more towards B Team, just because I think I thought they were going to win prior. I knew New Wave and B Team would be the finalists.
Yeah.
And I kind of was giving it to B Team, so I might be a little biased with that. But I wasn't surprised to see him win. I was surprised to hear the rule change at the very end.
Yeah.
Tied. And then, like, the judge is like, dude, you guys fucking caused this whole controversy by fucking, like...
At the same time, it did get more eyes on it as well by causing the controversy as well, I guess. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And at least New Wave got their money, too. So
Exactly. So
can't really be mad at that.
Okay. What do you think is a negative trend in jiu-jitsu affecting the community?
Witch hunting people that are getting with their students, I'd say. I'd say there's a lot, you know, like a girl goes and sleeps with the guy, wakes up the next day and realizes she made a mistake, and now she's claiming rape.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a couple of instances like that recently, and it's just like, damn, man, like, there's no accountability for some of these things. It's like, if you're the one that does it, you should be held responsible for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, don't say this guy raped you or this or that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The shit probably does happen.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's obviously, you know, I think anybody could stand on the fact that you shouldn't be raping women.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you get a woman that is not holding any accountability for herself and thinks like, oh, everybody's going to know he raped me.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. I think that is a huge thing. And yeah, I think it's a fine line between being an instructor and having a relationship with your students. That to me is a no.
I feel like nothing good comes out of it,
No.
and I'm very strict about that. I kind of frown upon like people
having relationships
in
the gym.
general. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
It does, and obviously they're training together.
There's 2 people that have met in my Moreno Valley gym that started a relationship, and I just like, you know, if it doesn't end well, then it doesn't end well for everybody.
Exactly.
You know? But
I think there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, but I think as long as you just keep it out of the gym, generally it's okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's your own personal choice. We're all adults, you know.
Exactly. So. Okay. What's your policy on gym etiquette you wish more gyms did or didn't do?
Cleanliness is next to godliness for me.
Absolutely. That's the big thing for our gym as well.
Making sure you guys have footwear when you're off the mat, and making sure you don't wear any footwear on the mat. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
We got, you know, defense wipes if you need them. I built showers in my one gym because that was a big thing. But cleanliness is the biggest thing, and understanding etiquette for cleanliness in jiu-jitsu gyms. So one of those things, I got to give someone a 15-minute speech every time they come in the gym if they haven't trained jiu-jitsu. It's like the first thing I ask, have you trained jiu-jitsu before? Okay, so you know this. I got to do a demonstration, like step out of your shoes and onto the mat. I do all that.
Wow.
'Cause that's like, man,
Okay.
staff and ringworm.
I might have to ask you about that actually, because just with With gi jiu-jitsu, there's not a lot of skin-on-skin contact, but in Nogi, like sometimes if you get it, it just like it spreads like wildfire. It's crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
And staph is not one of those things you want to be living with.
Especially in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's really serious. Yeah. Yeah. I actually have like a friend that owns a strength and conditioning gym called BTC. It's just across from N-Sphere. Greek guy called Harris. Really nice guy. He just started jiu-jitsu. Just wanted to get into it. And if you don't know what to look for either, you just think, oh, it's nothing. And then before you know
pimple.
it. Yeah. And then before you know it, you're on, you know.
Then it's got a fucking big black fucking. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Staph is no joke, man.
It happens quite a lot here. And then somebody from trained, I don't want to say the gym's name, but a guy went to train, and when he was transiting in Malaysia, he ended up in a coma.
From staph?
And passing out, yeah.
Damn.
Another guy had like a flesh-eating one, and they gave him the wrong antibiotics. And by the time he flew back to Australia, they had to pretty much like not...
Open him up, drain it.
Not only that, but take chunks of flesh out apparently, because like it got that bad. Do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Usually they'll take it out and stuff it with gauze and
exactly
keep changing it out. Yeah, I've seen some pretty bad staph infections. So.
Okay. What are some red flags people should watch out for when choosing a BJJ gym?
I think that if I think if they don't let you cross train, I think that's a big thing. I think the culture of the gym, and me as a businessman, I think my jiu-jitsu personality overrides that, because when people come in, instead of trying to sell them, what I'll do is I'll say, you know what, go try the other gyms. You might like the culture over there. You might like their teaching style. Go do that. Because I don't want anybody training at my gym that's unhappy with how I'm conducting the whole program, or how the other instructors are conducting things, you know.
Good answer. Most underrated business tool?
I mean, I don't really emphasize people checking in as much, which we've started to do recently. Yeah. But the tablet is fucking huge, man.
For signing up and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. For signing in, signing up, telling you when they're late on their payment, who's not paying. If you have a tablet at the front of your door and you have people sign in, you're gonna put a stop to all that shit. Because I will say, I've had people train for months that I didn't know weren't paying. And then I've come to find out, like, oh, this guy hasn't paid since fucking January, and we're in March. Like, holy shit.
That was my biggest headache when I first we reopened it. Right?
Yeah, we had a tablet.
Excel spreadsheet,
a good app.
Shout out to Gym Desk. We use you as well. We love you.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, it's really helped out a lot.
Download their app and or their website thing, and have everybody sign in. That'll put a stop to all that.
Absolutely. And it keeps track of like stripes and all that kind of stuff like that as well. We probably should use the check-in system now, to be honest, but
I mean, it's turned things around for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In what way, can I ask?
Just getting my monthly dues paid. I would also say
automates all the emails,
and also keeping track of who's coming and when they're coming, and you know, because I don't teach every class, so it's easy to keep track of when they're coming for whose class, you know.
I'll have to check that out. Actually,
get a tablet, get a nice little stand, and just put it right there. And every time someone comes in, just point at the thing. Because you're going to have to get people to get used to it. You know?
Exactly.
So you're just going to have to just be that way for a couple months, and then eventually you won't even have to do it no more. People just walk in, sign in.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. One book or resource every coach or gym owner should read.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Good one. That's a good one. I like that. Yeah. Favorite submission and why?
I don't know, man.
It's a hard one, right?
That's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I like arm bars because, you know, you can hit them from everywhere. I like taking the back. I like submitting people from all different areas and positions. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably have to say an arm bar.
Okay. Hardest person you've ever rolled with?
Higan Machado.
Yeah. Was he that big when you started with him?
Yeah. Well, not as big as he is now, but he probably was stronger.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard about his pressure.
You know, he's doing, oh man, it's like it's like nothing you'll ever feel. It's like going into quicksand, concrete quicksand.
Yeah.
It's like every time you move, it just gets tighter and tighter, and I had never felt that, and still have never felt that.
Okay, and the last one for the PTI, it's if you weren't doing jiu-jitsu, what would you be doing?
Shit I shouldn't be doing. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you on that one, yeah. I don't know. So last three questions. What's next for you? Any big plans or projects?
Yeah, actually, maybe expanding and opening another gym. I would like to. I've been seeing certain things in Thailand. There is a business I would like to get into out here, and it doesn't pertain to the gym business, but I'm trying to go through logistics and understand the tax laws and certain things. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah,
It's not weed, is it?
no. It has to do with weed though.
Okay.
It has to do with weed, but it's not weed. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. There's like a weed stop. Like there's like 3 weed shops and at least one like every.
The prices here are comparable to America now, which is pretty crazy to me. And it seems like the quality here is right
seems
there
pretty
too.
good. Yeah.
They know what they're whoever's growing. They probably brought some specialists.
I think so.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Because I think they're doing the same thing in the Philippines as well. They have like I don't really smoke a lot of weed, but whatever that oil is that you burn in the thing, that's really popular now as well. But
the oil that you burn in the thing.
I don't know what it's called. It's like it's like sticky.
You're talking about like dabs.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, dabs. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But it's funny because like there's a lot of popular stuff here. Like kratom's really popular here as well.
Kratom.
Kratom, that's it. Yeah, kratom. Yeah,
that shit is garbage, man. It's like the people in America who smoke kratom are people that get drug tested and want to smoke weed.
That's it's actually a juice here.
Really?
Yeah, they just brew the tea and it's quite popular apparently. A lot of the Muay Thai fighters and all the Grab taxi drivers
really?
They drink it. Yeah.
I heard there's a drug that all the taxi drivers and
Yaba.
Yeah,
that's one. It's in the Golden Triangle between Myanmar and Thailand. It's basically just like just like really dirty meth. But because of this area, it's really easy to get like high quality stuff as well. Apparently, yeah. Allegedly. Okay. Second to last question. What does a black belt mean to you?
It means you got your master's degree in jiu-jitsu.
Good one. All right. And my last question is, who'd you like to thank?
In terms of
just overall,
I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. Eddie, I mean, without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. There's a lot of people. My training partners, my kids. Without having them, I don't think I would have chose the career path that I've chosen. So. Yeah, big ups to them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.